In the chat box, you can get your notes and things. So notes number 6 actually is very easy. Because you can see the title notes number 6 is about international trade. Okay, the last two lecture notes is called international economics. So what do I mean by international economics? So why we add international before economics? So international economics is about the kind of how we can connect it, how we can connect two nations, two countries together. So it's a talk about the economic relationship between two different countries. Okay, so we totally have two different ways kind of to can, in the field of economics, to connect two different countries together, either through international trade, either through international finance. So note number 6 is about international trade, and then note number 7, the last lecture notes is about international finance. So what is international trade? Okay, residents of two different countries, of a not two different countries, of different countries, they can trade, they can exchange goods and services with each other, with your trading partner. But I hope you guys remember that earlier in the first week, we have learned actually the most important part of international trade. So what was the most important part is about how to calculate the comparative advantage, how to calculate the absolute advantage. Okay, how to identify which country, either country A, either country B, which country has a comparative advantage for what? For producing something. And then you support the goods and the services that you have comparative advantage with your trading partner. So we have learned the most important part of international trade. Once again, it's about how to do the calculation of the comparative advantage and absolute advantage. Yeah, we have done about this, the most important part of international trade. So you can see the notes number 6 actually is actually it's a kind of a short lecture notes. We just quickly go over this one. And then I think today we can move on to notes number 7. So if you got time, okay, you need to review your notes number 1. Okay, notes number 1. I remember it's a 1.10. 1.10. That point is about how to calculate comparative advantage. So today a little bit new stuff. Okay, the first one to know is balance trade and how to calculate balance trade. So balance trade basically is called net exporting. Basically, this two trade equals to net exporting. And we have learned the GDP. That's the GDP in notes number 1, in your macro notes number 1. So GDP. How you guys use expenditure formula, expenditure approach to calculate GDP, to estimate GDP again. So GDP basically you sum up 4 components, right? Consumption, investment, governmental spending, and the net exporting. You add up these 4 components together. So the total value is called the GDP. Okay, so the total value is called GDP. So this part is a uppercase letter X here representing something called the balance of trade or net exporting. So how you calculate X here? So total exporting value in terms of monetary value, okay? Total exporting, total importing here is not a quantity. In terms of a monetary value, the total monetary value of the goods and the services you export minus the total monetary value of the goods and the services you imported. And the calculating result is called net exporting, also can be called as a balance of trade. Okay, and naturally you can understand the net exporting not necessarily is a positive number, not necessarily is a negative number. Could be positive, could be negative. Really depends on which one you compare. You just do comparison, exporting and importing. It really depends on which one is the bigger number. So if exporting greater than importing, the calculating result is a positive number. So if you got a positive number, okay, from this for calculating the balance of trade, you got something called trade surplus country, and your country is said to be as a trade surplus country. Kind of is a good thing, right? Kind of is a good thing. Okay, generally speaking, you can be very happy if your country have a trade surplus, because that means the producers, domestic producers, they kind of are making money from foreign countries, right? So the money is flowing to your country. If you got trade surplus, like your GDP is increasing, GDP should be higher number, right? Exporting means exporting is a bigger number, means the foreigners they buy more. They buy more goods and services made in your country. They buy more. More than the goods and services, the domestic residents purchase from foreign countries, right? Right. So our country can make money from foreign countries. So we could be very happy with a trade surplus. By contrast, something called a trade deficit kind of is a bad thing. So this case, okay, importing value greater than exporting value. So kind of we need to buy domestic residents. We need to buy a lot of things made in foreign countries. But no foreigners, kind of no foreigners want to buy goods and services made in by our country. So you could get so the situation here could be happen, right? In which importing value greater than exporting value. So this is called trade deficit. Okay, so this could be a very bad situation. Okay, so this is how you calculate trade balance of trade. Then the next question, naturally, you want to ask, okay, so why? How could? Okay, how come trade deficit can be happen? Why some countries actually they are a trade deficit country? So first thing I want to clarify here. So some of you may think only those poor countries, developing countries, they are trade deficit countries. Okay, and those developed countries, okay, those kind of rich countries with a higher GDP, blah, 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 they should be a trade surplus country. But that's wrong. That's wrong, not necessarily. Okay, so some developed countries, okay, really wealthy countries, for example, USA actually is a big trade deficit country, actually. Americans actually, especially, they buy a lot of things made in China. So USA, right? USA is a developed country, but the USA is a trade deficit country. Okay, so by saying this, I mean, okay, not necessarily trade. So common reasons. What has also some common reasons why countries, including those wealthy developing, it turns out is a trade and kind of is a very kind of the straightforward is that yeah, because you producing something bad, yeah, due to inferior quality, bad quality. So no foreigners actually are willing to buy those services made in your country. Okay, so no exporting. So finally, you can be a trade deficit country. So number B, local production costs too much. Oh, this is a reason why USA. This is a reason why USA finally turns out is a trade deficit country because local production costs too much money. Localized production. A lot of American companies, American brands, actually they physically produce their products in China, but not domestically in USA. Like a Tesla, like a Nike shoes, like iPhone, iPad. All these things actually made by China, physically assembled by Chinese workers, not by Americans. So it is a reason because localized production. If you hire American workers to physically to actually do the production, the human resource cost is way more higher than if you hire is way more higher than the situation in which you hire Chinese workers. Chinese workers, the human resource cost. Okay, for hiring Chinese workers is a very low. Okay, compared with the American wage standard. Okay, so you can save money. So a lot of American firms actually assemble their products in China, produce their products in China. Okay, and number C, okay, countries like what? Like Singapore. Yeah, those are very small countries. They really have nothing to export. Bigger countries like Australia, Canada, so we can export some natural resources, right? So I mentioned so many times, people in Alberta, they just export crude oil, natural gas, agricultural products, that kind of thing. Because Canada is a very big country. Yeah, same as uh, Australia, right? Australia, they also export a lot of natural resources. Okay, by contrast, like small countries like Singapore, yeah, kind of just as a city. So they have nothing to export. So maybe so could be one reason. So why the country could finally is a trade deficit country. So number D, okay, in the last lecture notes, so from notes number 7, we will learn how to calculate exchange rate. So how many things you can export, how many things foreigners are willing to purchase. You really have a close relationship with the exchange rate between your currency and the currency of your trading partner, right? Because the people in different countries, they use different currencies. Like here we use the CAD, Americans, they use American dollars, USD, right? So there is the exchange rate between two different currencies. Yeah, really can affect, really can influence, really can determine how much money, how much goods and services you can sell to you can support to your trading partner. So if your currency is overpriced, is appreciated and overpriced, that means your currency is too expensive for foreigners. Too expensive for foreigners. That means okay, foreigners they need to use a lot of their home currency, own currency to convert to your currency. So for them, if your currency is overpriced, for them, the goods and services made by your country could be very expensive for those foreigners. Okay, so exchange rate is a determinant of your net exporting, of your trade balance. Okay, again, in notes number 7, we will learn this, okay? How the exchange rate between two currency. For example, so currently, the real thing, right? Currently, Canadians, we need to use 1.3, roughly speaking, 1.3 CAD to exchange 1 USD. Like Canadians, we need to use more money, okay, to buy 1 unit of USD. Okay, so in notes number 7, we will learn this, how this exchange rate can be generated, yeah, from the market, from the currency market. And that's the reason also could be one reason why those developed countries, industry, realize high income countries finally could be a trade deficit country. Because the purchasing power of their currency is very strong. Imagine Americans, right? American maybe live in New York City, yeah. So the monthly income is so they can make American dollars. And if they use American dollars, USD to buy something made in, for example, made in those Southeast Asian countries, like buy those things made in Thailand, okay, could be very cheap. Okay, so the purchasing power of USD is so strong. So with a strong purchasing power, Americans are willing to, naturally, they are willing to buy a lot of things. They're made by Asian countries. Okay, so finally lead to America as a trade deficit country. Okay, so these are common reasons, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E are some common reasons like why your country finally is a trade deficit country. So the last part of notes number 6 is you need to know two different types of trade restrictions. Previously, I said, okay, Americans actually is trade deficit country. A lot of American companies, a lot of American brands like Tesla, like Nike, like Apple, like blah blah blah. They actually physically assemble or produce their products in China. They hire Chinese workers to actually to physically to do the production. So this could cause a lot of social problems in USA. For example, the domestic unemployment rate in USA could be increased. Yeah, due to for saving cost of human resources, American firms are not willing to do the localized production. I mentioned the right the wage of local workers is very high. It's higher than the Chinese work. It's higher than the wage standard, the wage into paying if you do the production in China. So naturally you can understand that the domestic employment will increase. Okay, so some politicians, for example, Trump, the American government under Trump's administration, they want to what they did under Trump administration, they want to restrict, they want to reduce the quantity. They want to reduce the amount of goods and services they imported from China by adding something called trade restrictions. And today we need to learn two different types of trade restrictions. The first one is called the importing quota. Another one is called the importing tariff. Actually, we have learned about importing tariff in macroeconomics in notes number 4. In notes number 4, we did a welfare analysis, okay, for importing tariff. Okay, so this kind of two things together is called trade restrictions. Okay, and the major reason, the most important reason why you want to reduce the quantity imported is you want to promote domestic employment. Okay, if everything done by if all the production process is done by Chinese workers, then naturally you can understand, yeah, the American workers in the manufacturing sectors will lose their job, right? The American industry workers, I mean manufacturing workers will lose their job because everything made by Chinese. They will lose their job. So to promote domestic employment, so let's see. So what is so how we reduce the amount, the quantity we imported from China? The first thing we can do something called importing quota. So what is importing quota? Quota kind of is an upper limitation, kind of is a restriction to limit, to regulate a highest, the upper limit, the highest amount of the highest value of the goods and services we can import it from China. So what do I mean? What do I mean by the upper limit of the goods and services we can import it from China? Let's do a graph here. So this is imagine this is a American market. So if I need to add a title here, so we label this one by USA. And we label the horizontal line by Q and this one by price. So imagine this is a pencil market, just a pencil market. So this is a domestic supply, this is a domestic demand. Before international trade, American producers produce pencil for American students. So demand currency is the demand side. So the domestic price is here, quantity is here. Okay, but due to what? Due to the but the same quality, assuming same quality, same kind of pencil if produced by Chinese workers, due to lower level cost in China. So same quality if produced by Chinese workers, so the price is way more lower than the domestic price. So we label this one by world price. Okay, so if world price is lower than the domestic price, so if American can do free international trade with China, free here means no government intervention, no quota, no regulation, no restrictions, so just totally free. Okay, Americans can import whatever the amount they want to buy from China. So what will happen? So the domestic pencil price will reduce because the importers, right? Because the importers, American importers will buy a lot of, they just go to China, buy a lot of pencil, ship back to American market. Okay, so the domestic pencil price will decrease because the domestic consumers, American consumers are only willing to buy cheaper pencils made by Chinese with the same quality. Because the consumers, they want to save more money. Okay, so quantity demanded here increases, quantity supply here decreases. Okay, so this one's a QD, this one's a QS. So I mentioned the domestic consumers, they buy more. So you got a movement here. So they buy more from here to here. But let's use another color. But you see, based on law of supply, very basic law of supply, when price decreases here, domestic producer produce a lesser quantity. Okay, some American firms, they have no conditions to compete with a Chinese producer. Because American firm cost is very high. So some of American producers will withdraw from the market, will shut down their business, will reduce the quantity they can produce. They can supply. So quantity of supply here decreases. Okay, so the gap, so the difference between QS and QD here is a Q called Q of the importing. Okay, this is a result. Okay, this is a result. If we do free international trade, you see the queue of importing, right? Kind of is a big gap here. So markets, yeah, buy a lot of the pencil, import a lot of the pencil from China. Okay, so if domestic producers shut down their business, reduce the quantity they produce, here. So then rate is about like how you can fix this problem here. You want to reduce the quantity imported, right? So what you could do, you can do something quantity, you can add something called a quota. So quota means, so we introduce a quota into this model. So what is a quota? Quota, once again, by the definition, is the upper limit. It's the maximum amount regulated by government. It's the maximum amount of a pencil, maximum amount of a particular product. We can import it from China. I mean, you cannot reduce, it is regulated by government. They cannot import this much from China. Too much, we want to reduce the quantity here. Then what is the limit? Then what is the limit? Okay, totally determined by government. Let's see. The limit is here. So from here to here. So this is a small circle here. So from here to here. This is the upper limit. This is the maximum amount of the pencil we can import from China. So what is the effect? Okay, what is the purpose to do that, to add a quota into this model? So the domestic producer, then naturally, the domestic producer, now they can produce more. If we cannot import that much of the pencil from China, then domestic producers, they can supply more, they can produce more for domestic consumers. Okay, so the effects of adding a quota into this graph, actually, we just shift the domestic supply curve to right. Okay, leave this smaller circle. So this is the amount we can still import from China. Okay, so the domestic producer can produce more. So if a domestic producer, now they can produce more, they need to hire more workers. Okay, so we can fix the problem here a little bit, at least a little bit. So you can lower them rate a little bit. So this is the quota. So once again, where is the quota? So quota is here. How big is the circle? So from here to here is a column quota. In AP level class, you don't need to worry about calculate how big is the quota. Right? You do not need to calculate how big is the quota, how big should the quota be here. Because that is a very, and this is a kind of a question is beyond the AP level class. Yeah, in the future, if you guys take the intentional trade underground level intentional trade, uh, you will learn this. Yeah, regarding how big is the quota. Okay, the last one, number B, importing tariff. Once again, we have learned about this actually in your notes number 4. In macroeconomics, notes number 4, we have learned about importing tariff. Again, the fundamental reason why your country is the importing country is the domestic price, like here, is higher than the world price. Okay, that is a fundamental reason why your country is a importing country. Because the domestic producers, once again, they want to buy cheaper things, cheaper goods and services made by foreigners. Okay, so we just copy down the basic framework. So QS greater than QD. Okay, this is a Q of the importing. Okay, this is a quantity we import under free international trade condition. If no regulations, no restrictions, once again, Americans import a lot of things. From QS to QD, we import a lot of things made by Chinese workers. Because the Chinese price is lower than the domestic American price. Okay, so once again, okay, if domestic producers they have no conditions to compete with the Chinese competitors, as they will reduce the quantity they produce, so they lay off workers. The same kind of a story. So the major challenge we are facing now is the unemployment rate is very high. Okay, so the unemployment rate here is very high. So in another way, the second way, beside adding quota into the market, so another way is called we add tariff, importing tariff. Once again, to reduce the quantity we imported from China. Like domestic producers produce more, so the domestic firms, American firms, they can hire more American workers. So you can lower the employment rate a little bit. So what is importing? How we represent the importing tariff? If you remember, you just vertically shift world price. Okay, vertically up. So we label the blue line here by world price plus per unit tariff. Okay, we just vertically this line, vertically shift. Okay, because we add in per unit tariff. They kind of American government, they want to make goods and services made by Chinese more expensive for the domestic consumer by adding tariff. Okay, by adding tariff. So you see the domestic price has increased by this much, right? Increased by the size of a per unit tariff. So if the price has been increased, so the quantity demanded decreases a little bit. So most important thing, the domestic producer now they can produce more because the domestic price has been increased a little bit. Okay, so QD is here, so QS is here. You see, so quantity of importing has been reduced. Okay, from this big gap to this smaller gap here. So the quantity of importing has been reduced. Okay, that is the purpose of the adding tariff. Okay. So once again, the okay, the main reason we do trade restriction. You either do importing tariff, you either do importing quota. You mainly want to fix the employment rate. You lower the employment rate, you want to lower the employment rate. Okay, like domestic producers produce more, so they hire more. Any questions so far? Okay, if no questions, if no questions, let's and once again, you see the lecture number 6, only 3 pages, I guess. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, only 3 pages. The kind of very short. So why is this part is very short? Once again, because we already learned the most important thing about interest rate once again, which is like how to calculate a comparative voltage, lower opportunity cost in notes number one. In notes number one, in the very first lecture, in notes number one, like last year September, we did notes number one. And if you can find your notes number one, if you still can find your notes number one, in 1.9, 1.9, 1.9 here, this part, we already learned the most important thing of international trade theory. Like how to calculate absolute voltage, how you calculate comparative voltage. What is a specialization? What is international trade? Right? What is international term of trade? What kind of thing you should export? What kind of thing you should import? Yeah, we learn all these things here. Okay, so now we can try to practice one or two questions to help you guys review a little bit about the regulation, about the calculation for comparative voltage. Okay, give you guys will be 10 minutes. Okay, let's review again. Let's review again. Notes number 3. I think maybe we have done this before when we do the first lecture also, but I think it is a time to review the question one more time. Okay, let's give you guys 10 minutes. Okay, give you guys 10 minutes, especially hold on. Yeah, especially for question D and E, two different important things. Okay, like how you identify who has a comparative one to goods, and how you determine how you can identify what is a possible term of trade between these two countries. So D and E are really important questions. Okay, we'll give you guys 10 minutes. Let's do questions right. No, 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 no. DNE are most important questions. We need to do DNE. Yeah, we do all of them. We do all of them. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. 20 to 40. Yeah, all you guys got CD, that's right. But but A and B is easy, right? You just but be careful to follow the place of food on the horizontal axis. So label the here by quantity of the food, and here is the quantity of the capital. For this question, you can either draw a straight line PPC or a concave PPC. But I just do a straight line PPC here. Efficient level production. So the production point must be exactly like some PPC. Inefficient level, I unattainable level is U, like we cannot produce this much, we don't have that much, we don't have enough resources, that much resources to produce at the U level. So you just plot U beyond your PPC. Okay, yeah, that's right. Let's go back to the notes. So then we move on to notes number 7. Notes number 7, the last one. The last one is international finance. So the first half part of today's lecture is about international trade. Okay, that is once again, that is the first way how we can kind of connect link two different countries together, right? Because a residency in different countries produce, residency in different countries, they exchange goods and services with each other, and that is called international trade. Another way, the second way, how we can link two countries together is through international finance system. Because we have something called the internet. Okay, by having internet, remember this, by having internet, the financial market, the financial system, your domestic, your country's financial system is not isolated from other countries. Using internet, actually, every country's financial markets, they are kind of linked with each other. So what do I mean by this linkage? Okay, first example, okay, if you are Canadians, okay, if you are residents of Canada, if you are Canadians, you don't need to deposit your money like a monthly income, like every month you can make a lot of you can make some money. You don't need to deposit your money into a Canadian bank, like RBC, like a TD, like a CIBC, like a BMO. Right? Nobody can regulate you, nobody can push you, nobody say, oh, you must deposit your money into a Canadian bank. There's no such a regulation. Okay, if you got a reason, you can deposit your money, monthly income into a American bank. Tomorrow you can go to Seattle. Okay, maybe you go to Citibank. Okay, Citibank is a big commercial bank, American commercial bank. You can open a bank account at the Citibank. You can every month you can deposit your money into your Citibank's American bank's bank account. Okay, that's totally okay. So by doing this, you are injecting your money. Remember, you are Canadian. You are injecting your money into American financial market. Yeah, you could do that. Okay, the second example is, okay, we are Canadians, but once again, nobody regulate you. You must buy, if you want to invest your money into stock market, you want to buy shares, right? But nobody regulate you. Once again, you must invest your money into Canadian stock market. You can buy shares of Apple company absolutely is American company. You can deposit your money into you can buy shares issued by Apple company. I mean, by doing this once again, you are injecting your money into American stock market instead of the Canadian stock market. Right? You put your money, you save your money, you invest your money into American stock market. Yeah, you can totally do this. Okay, the situation can be the opposite way, right? Americans, for some reason, they also invest their money into Canadian stock market. Some Americans, they just deposit their monthly income money for whatever the purpose, for whatever the reason, they can deposit their money into a Canadian commercial bank like RBC. You see, this is how we can connect different countries of financial market together. And this part is called international finance. Okay, but the first difficult problem we need to cope with, we need to deal with when we talk about international finance is that different countries, they use a different kind of a currency. Like here we use a Canadian dollar, but Americans, they use American dollars. Okay, so the most important part is that how we calculate, like who can determine the exchange rate between these two currency, between CAD and USD. So what is the exchange rate? Mathematically speaking, kind of is a formula. Okay, like right now, I already mentioned, like we Canadians, we need to use 1.3 CAD to buy to exchange. Okay, if I so mathematically speaking, I can write down equal to 1 USD. Okay, this is kind of a formula. This kind of equation is called exchange rate. So how you interpret this formula, how you understand this formula. So once again, let's repeat it again. Canadians, we need to use 1.3 our home currency to buy to exchange 1 unit of USD. Okay, if you convert 1.3 CD into USD, you only can get $1. Okay, another way is, okay, that means 1 USD equals to, roughly speaking, 0.3 CAD. Okay, these two formulas are kind of the same thing, right? Kind of the same thing. You just do 1 divided by 1.3. You got 0.7 here. Okay, this is a called exchange rate. So have you guys ever think about this? So why Americans, right? Why Americans, like why Canadians? Why we Canadians, we need to convert more money, use more money to buy 1 USD, 1 unit of a city. What is the reason? Seems like unfair, right? Why we need to use more money to buy 1 USD? Why the exchange rate isn't, let's see, 1 USD equals to 1 city? So what is the reason? So this is the most important thing we need to learn in 7.2. Okay, look at how we can, why is the case? Okay, why 1.3 CAD equal to just 1 unit of USD? We will talk about this in 7.2. But before this, before 7.2, let's finish something called, first step, let's finish something called the BOP, the balance of a payment. I have two examples, right? You, as a Canadian, you monthly you deposit your money into a American bank. For whatever the reason, imagine you actually do that. You live in Vancouver, every month you just deposit for some part of your CD income into American bank. The second example, my second example is you buy stocks or shares traded in the American stock market. So you see, by having these two examples, I actually show you two examples, like two situations in which money is leaving from Canada and flowing to American, and flow into American financial market. Right, money for some reason is leaving from Canada and be injected into American financial market. Okay, so here the left-hand side is Canada, and here is USA. Money is leaving from Canada to USA, flowing to USA. Okay, for some other reason, okay, if Americans they deposit their money into a Canadian bank, so money is flowing to Canada and leaving from USA. So what is a BOP? So we build kind of something called a BOP system to record these money flows. Very important. We need to record this. We need to kind of count how much money is leaved has been leaved from Canada? How much money has been like flowed into Canada? This recording system is called a BOP. Okay, so let's see the formal definition. Let's formally define what is a BOP. As you can see here, this is a definition. Just is a system for accounting. Okay, just is a system for recording economic transactions between countries, like Canada and the USA. Okay, and in BOP and in this according system, okay, we have two different things. We record two different, how to say, we count two different situations. The first one is called current account, another one is a financial account. So let's quickly go over them. What is a current account? What is a current account? Remember this current account balance. It is the sum. It is the total value of the following three items. Okay, the first one is called the net exporting. Another one is called the net factor payment. Another one, the third one is called the net transfers. So how you understand this things, A, B, C here, what is the net transporting, what is net factor payment, what is the net transfers? So these are three common reasons why the money is leaving from Canada and why money is flowing to Canada. So first one maybe is easier because we have learned what is net exporting. So net exporting equals the total exporting value minus importing value. And we just learned about this, right? Net exporting can be positive, it can be negative. And we also mentioned if you are a trade surplus country, okay, that means the money is flowing to Canada. Think about this, am I right? If you trade a surplus country. Foreigners demand more goods and services made in your country. So they need to buy, they need to use their currency, their money to buy the things made by your country. So that means if you got trade surplus, money is flowing to your country. You are making money from foreigners. That's it. But contrast, if you trade a deficit country, that means the money is is leaving from your country. Money is leaving from your country and go to another country and flow into your trading patterns. Okay, so the international trade, that is the most important reason, like why money is leaving once again, leaving from your country and flowing into your country. But it really depends on, yeah, whether or not if you have trade surplus country or trade deficit country. Okay, I guess everybody can understand the number A here. Yeah, because of foreign, once again, let's repeat again, because of foreigners are purchasing goods and services made by your country, so they need to buy, they need to use money to do the importing. So they give you money. So the money is flowing to your country. Okay, so it's A. So how we understand B and C? So my question for you guys is, okay, beside international trade, is there any other reason money can be leave from Canada? Is there any other reason why some money is leaving from Canada or flow into Canada? What kind of transactions, what kind of exchange, what kind of economic activities can lead to these two cases, either money flow into Canada, either money leaving from Canada? Okay, so the second reason is sometimes we do net transfer payment. No, net factor payment, factor payment. So let's imagine one situation, okay, like a U3 are Canadians. Legally speaking, okay, legally speaking, you guys are Canadians. That means your nationality is a Canadian. But in the future, you are Canadians, but in the future, you guys can go to USA for working. You find a job in the future, you find a job in USA. For whatever the reason, you don't want to work in Canada. Okay, you are Canadians, you can. Yeah, you just go to USA, go States, find a job. So you can make money from American players. American firm, American company, pay you guys wage and salary. So basically pay you guys money. Monthly, annually, whatever the time period. So this kind of transaction cause money flow into Canada because you guys, you are Canadians, legally speaking. Your nationality is Canadian. Canadians are making, in this example, Canadians are making money from USA. So the money is flowing to Canada. So this part actually is a formula, okay? This part actually is a formula minus, okay, minus. Okay, and the story and this situation can be the opposite, right? For some reason, a lot of Americans, they come to Canada, work here, work in Toronto, work in Vancouver. So American, so this time should be Canadian firms, a Canadian company, pay money, pay wage, pay salary, pay dividends for to these American workers. By doing this, you see money is leaving from Canada but flowing to USA. Okay, so you just use the Canadians money, you work for them. So you contribute human resources for a American firm. You kind of selling something. You private them your human cost because you are working for them. You are private. You are private. Offer some human resources, labor hours, skills and knowledge, whatever. You can get money. Residents of one country can get money from foreign countries without nothing as a return. Without nothing as a return. So this kind of money is called net transfer. So let's have an example. Okay, let's have an example. Okay, once again, you guys now you guys are American. Now you guys are Canadians because we live in Vancouver. So imagine a situation in the future, you guys will become Americans. I mean, once again, I mean legally. You change your nationality from Canadian to American. Could be happen or could be happen. It's totally possible. For whatever the reason you want to change your nationality to from Canadian to Americans. But imagine your parents, they are still Canadian. Your parents in the future, 10 years later, your parents are still living in Vancouver. And you go to you go to USA. And you change your nationality. So in the future, you guys are Americans. And then your Canadian parents transfer money monthly to you to support you. to live in USA. You see, in this kind of situation, right, your Canadian parents transfer money to you, but you give nothing as their return. This kind of money is called net transfer. And once again, the situation can be the opposite, right? American parents transfer money to their maybe Canadian relatives, okay, maybe to the Canadian children's, maybe to their Canadian close friends. Okay, so this kind of money is called net transfer. And this is also is a formula here. So you do minus subtraction minus here. So the calculating result is called net transfer. And once again, just like can be net transfers, can be positive, it can be negative. Okay, not necessarily is a positive number, not necessarily is a negative number. Okay, and then you add A, B, C together. Okay, and then you sum up the balance of a net exporting, net after payment, net transfer payment together. Okay, it's called the balance of the current account. Okay, that is called the balance of a current account. Okay. But besides these three stories, okay, besides these three reasons, any other reason can cause somebody leaving from Canada and flowing to Canada. So another type of reason is people do investment. Okay, people do investment. We haven't talked about investment, right? We do international trade here. We did implement income here. We did international transfer here. We haven't talked about investment. So another kind of a reason why money is leaving from Canada. Imagine this, okay, a Canadian company, maybe Lululemon. Okay, Lululemon is a Canadian firm. They want to extend their business. They want to enter into like Americans market, USA's like market. Okay, so let's say you are Lululemon, you bring like $1 million. You go to USA, you build the factory there in USA, produce something for American consumers. You see this kind of investment, right? You bring $1 million. You live in Canada, you do your business in USA, but Lululemon is a Canadian company. Okay, so this money, the money here is called the investment outflow. Because the money is leaving from Canada. And once again, same story. The situation can be the opposite. American companies, they can came to Canada, do business here. And they need to bring their money as their initial investment for entering into Canadian market. So this part of the money is called the investment inflow. You do investment inflow minus investment outflow. And the calculating result here is called financial account balance. Okay, investment inflow minus investment outflow. Okay, it's called financial account balance. And the most important thing, number 4 here. So due to accounting identity. So what is accounting identity? Basically is about the double entry principle. Yeah, basically it is better to not write down this formula again. I don't want to confuse make everything very confused. Due to some accounting principle, we don't need to talk about the accounting principle today. Due to some accounting, something called an accounting identity. But remember this, okay, but remember this, the current account balance and the financial account balance together must be zero. You add up the balance of a current account and the balance of a financial account together must be zero. Okay, if your current account is a positive $100 million, that means your financial account is negative $100 million. I mean, okay, the sum of these two balances together must be zero. Okay, due to the double entry principle. Yeah, you will learn the accounting identity double entry principle in your accounting courses. You will take accounting courses in the future in greater details. Yeah, but now we are doing AP economics. So for this moment, okay, for this moment, we just kind of memorize okay, this principle. Okay, so we can save a lot of time. I don't want to dig deeper into the into accounting stuff. Okay, but for this moment, just remember current account balance and financial account balance together, it must be zero. Okay, then we finish a POP. So basically, not very hard. Basically, we just talk about what kind of situation, kind of reasons, once again, why money is leaving from Canada and why some money is flowing to Canada. We just recall that this money flows kind of. So this is what BOP used for. Okay. Okay, then we do the currency marking. Okay, then we do the currency marking. The most important thing, the most important purpose to build a currency market is to identify, is to figure out, okay, what is the exchange rate between two different currency, like the question we mentioned before. Right, have you guys think about this once again, why we need to use more Canadian dollars, like 1.3 Canadian dollars? And why 1.3 Canadian dollars only can be converted into just a one unit of just a one USD. What is the reason? Okay, so to explain this, let's build something called a currency market. Actually, the question is super easy. We just use our basic supply curve and demand curve model to build this currency market again. And this is a currency market. And this is a currency market between what? Between, let's see. Okay, let's have an example here. Let's see, this is a currency market between India and USA. India and the USA. Okay, just example. Okay, we want to talk about okay, the exchange rate between USD dollar and the Indian rupee. Indian currency, I guess, is called rupee. Okay, but the most important thing you guys need to understand is same currency market. The currency, the specific currency market we are discussing now is the currency market, exchange market between India and the USA, right? This is the same market, but you have two different point of view. You guys can have two different perspectives to look at to understand this currency market. From Indian perspective, Imagine we are Indians. Okay, so the left-hand side is for Indians. Okay, as Indians, how we understand, okay, the market between us and the Americans. And the right-hand side naturally is the USA market. Okay, imagine you are USA, so your perspective, American perspective, how you look, how you understand this market is the right-hand side market. But once again, these two graphs actually is the same market. Okay, just like Stanley Park, you guys know Stanley Park, right? Stanley Park is here. Okay, if you stand, okay, your location, if your location is if you stand at the west side of Vancouver, okay, this is your point of view. Okay, if you stand at West Vancouver, okay, this is a kind of your point of view. We just have a different perspective to look to understand the same market. Stanley Park is the same Stanley Park. We only have we only have one Stanley Park here in Vancouver, but it really depends on your location. Okay, so you can have a different point of view of a same market. Okay, so how we add the labels? Okay, so remember, put the home currency label on the horizontal axis. So left-hand side graph, imagine you are Indian. Your home currency is called a Q of rupee. RUPPE should be. So how you label the vertical axis is it's important. Be careful here. Okay, be careful here. People make a lot of mistakes here regarding how they label the vertical axis of a currency market. So you just remember this. You use a foreign currency. Now the foreign currency is because you are in India, so the foreign currency is USD. So you label the vertical axis by USD price of USD price of rupee. Yeah, let's add a supply curve and the demand curve. So who as a next question, who as a supply side, who is the demand side in Indian market? Who supply Indian rupee into this market? Who has the supply side, who has the demand side? So naturally, supply curve, right? Supply curve, most likely they are Indians. Like we are Indians. Okay, we live in India, we work in India, so naturally we use every like every month we make money, right? But we make Indian rupees, so the currency we use in our country. Our country now is in India. We make rupees every month. So we are the supply side. Most likely, the supply side is in India, but not necessarily, not necessarily. Some foreigners, yeah, for whatever reason, maybe some foreign immigrants, yeah, whatever the reason, okay, some foreigners also hold Indian rupees. So we just call them rupee holders. Okay, supply curve representing the behavior, modeling the behavior called rupee holder. And the rupee holders, yeah, everybody is a rupee holders in India. But why you come into this market? Why you supply your money? into a foreign currency exchange market, because you want to buy who want to buy USD. Is that right? Yeah, super easy, right? If you don't want to buy USD, if you don't want to convert your rupees into USD, you don't need to come to this market. You supply your money. What is the reason? Because you want to buy some USD. So we use a supply curve to model the behavior of these kind of a group people. We call them Ruby holders who want to buy, who want to exchange USD. Okay, very similar. Then what is the demand? Who are the demand side in Indian market? So very similar. We can call them, this time should be USD holders. Once again, most likely they are Americans. Yeah, American use USD, but not necessarily. A lot of foreign nationals also hold a lot of USD, if for whatever the reason. So we just call them USD holders. And why they come over, why they come into this market, why they demand, why they can be called as a demand side in the market, because they demand, they want to buy, they want to exchange. Who want to buy CAD? Yeah, this is the demand side in this market. We use the demand side once again, demand curve to represent this group of people. And then now you can understand why the supply curve is a positively sloping curve. If a USD price of rupee increases, that means you can use the same amount of rupee, but you can get more, you can convert more, you can buy more, you can exchange more USD. In that case, oh, you want to supply more. So positively relationship, so upward sloping supply curve. And then you can understand why the demand curve is a downward sloping curve. So when the USD price of rupee like decreases, Americans will suffer from the so-called depreciation of USD. No. If a USD price decreases, Americans buy more, not buy less, buy more. Because using same amount of USD, they can exchange more, they can buy more Indian rupees. So they buy more. So downward sloping curve. So negative relationship. Okay, just like the basic supply and demand model. So what? So this is called equilibrium exchange rate. We just label exchange rate by E star and Q star. So let me check. Let me check what is the real number currently. So what is the USD price? The USD price per Mhm. Okay, so if you actually Google that, okay, currently one USD dollar equals to, no, for this one we should Google, okay. So if we convert one rupee into American dollar, okay, the number is, okay, this is a real number. I just checked. Okay, 0.01 and 2. Okay, guys, how we really understand, how we interpret this number here, okay? USD price of a 1 unit of a rupee just equals to this much USD. If you convert 1 rupee into USD, you can get this much. Just a 1 American cent. Okay, so this is a point of view. This is of Indians. As Indians, how we understand, how we see this market, how we understand the market. Okay, this is a graph. On your right hand side, okay, once again, supply curve, demand curve. Um, so- oh, get more space here. Okay, so this time on the right hand side in Americans market, so who has the supply side? Okay, supply side this time, they are US holders. Oh, I made a mistake. So not a CAD, not a CAD. My bad. This is India. This is not Canada. Oh, I can change. So okay. So here is Ruby, not CAD. Okay, but who are the demand side? Who demand American dollars? Okay, rupee holders who want to buy USD. Okay, and now the E star equals to, you just, so if the left hand side, the E star is 0.013. So what about this one? What about the exchange rate on the right hand side market? So you just grab your calculator, you just do 1 divided by 0.012. So equals roughly speaking, equal to 83.3. Okay, so now how you understand this number? If you are Americans, seems like you are taking advantage from Indians. Okay, if you convert just a 1 unit of your currency into Indian rupee, you can get this much. 83 units of rupee. Okay, so this is two examples. Okay, how we build a currency market between foreign exchange market between two countries. So you can fill all these blanks. I guess I mentioned everything. Okay, so I didn't add the labels. So this one, so label the horizontal by your home currency. Now your home currency is called USD. So how you label the vertical axis here? So this time is called rupee price of USD. Okay, then we done. I guess this time we have everything. Okay, by building these two graph, okay, the most important thing, the most kind of important function of this two graph is we can determine, okay, just the intersection of a supply curve, demand curve. Just like in macroeconomics, like how we price apple, banana, bubble tea. Okay, still by the intersection of a supply curve and demand curve. Through kind of a negotiation between suppliers and the demand, and those people demand the product. We can find the USD price of rupee and the rupee price of USD. Okay, but next step, price in the field of economics, the price always is changing constantly. Price is not a fixed number. Okay, price can be increases, price can be decreases. Okay, price always fluctuates, ups and downs. Same thing for the foreign exchange market. Okay, USD price of rupee could be increased. Okay, rupee price of could be decreased. But in foreign exchange market, we use two specific terms, like appreciation and depreciation. Okay, if the value of your home currency is rising against any kind of a foreign currency, okay, this phenomena, kind of a phenomenon is called appreciation. Professionally, we don't see a price of your currencies increasing. We don't see this. Professionally speaking, we see, okay, you got appreciation. Your currency is appreciating. Those finance professionals is also say, oh, our currency is getting stronger. Professionals, okay, in practical, they see, oh, USD is getting stronger against the CAD. That means USD is appreciating against the CAD. Okay. By contrast, a weaker currency means it depreciating. It means your currency is depreciating against a foreign currency. Okay, so the definition of depreciation is the value of your currency, maybe your home currency, is lowering against another currency. Okay, so appreciation and depreciation. And the final part, we just discuss several various different like examples, different situations to explain why your currency can be appreciated, why your currency can be depreciated, why your currency is getting stronger and stronger, and why your currency is getting weaker and weaker. Actually super easy, right? By shifting. Yeah, just by shifting your supply curve and demand curve in your currency market, then you can understand why sometimes, okay, your currency can be appreciated while your currency can be depreciated. Think about this, right? Why foreigners? Why foreigners they want to buy your currency? Because we have learned BOP, right? We have learned BOP. And because in BOP we mentioned we kind of discuss all the situation like why the money is flow from Canada and is leaving from your country, I mean, and why what are those reasons the money is flowing to your country? So by learning about BOP, actually I hope you guys can understand really the two fundamental reasons. So why foreigners like they are Americans, so why they want to buy some Canadian dollars? It seems so weird. If they live in USA, if they work in USA, if in they don't need to use they don't need to buy they don't need to use any CAD, right? But why Americans buy CAD by Indian rupee? Two fundamental reasons. Either they want to buy things made by your country, either they want to invest their money into Indian market. Let's have a first example here. Okay, first example. So Americans' demand for goods and services made in India increases. So by having this, imagine this kind of situation, what will happen? So let's assuming, okay, you are Americans. If you want to buy goods and services made in India, the first step to do this, you really need to convert your home currency, which is USD, into Indian rupee. And then you can buy the goods or services made in India, right? So first step, we shift demand curve to right. Because Americans demand more rupee, we just shift the demand curve to right. If we shift the demand curve to right, you see rupee will appreciate it, the total quantity exchange converted increases, Q star increases. Because the E number one is here, E number two is here, super easy. You just shift the demand curve to right. Because now the reason is Americans, they want to buy goods and services made in India. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, this is what happened. And the left-hand side graph, let's one more time. Imagine India. The first graph, left-hand side graph represents the point of India. So we are Indians. A lot of Americans come to our country, buy our currency. So in our market, demand curve is increasing. But on your right-hand side is the USA. Now, imagine we are Americans. We want to we want to buy more things made in India, foreign countries. So this time we should supply more. We should supply more USD. We want to convert our home currency into Indian rupee. So this time, yeah, same kind of event, but from the point of view of Americans, this time we shift the supply curve to left, to right. Okay, so E number one is here, E number two is here. So if a left-hand side graph is appreciating, the right-hand side graph must be depreciating. Right? If the ruby is appreciating against the USD, that means just rephrases that means the USD is depreciating against Indian rupee. Okay, but the quantity exchanged also increase. Once again, okay, I'm not doing two different graphs. I'm not doing two different markets. Okay, these two graphs, once again, is the same thing. It's the same market, it's the same, like a reason here. We just have two different perspectives. Really depends on who you are. You can be India, you can be Indian, you can be American. If you are India, oh, this is your model. If you're American, right-hand side graph is your model. We just have two different points of view, two different ways to understand the same market. Yeah, between India and the USA. Okay, once again, these two markets is same market. I'm not did two different market here, but the same, totally the same. Okay, so final step, you've just fill these two blanks. Okay, now, okay, Ruby is appreciating, USD is depreciating. Any questions? Okay, no questions, I guess, so we cannot finish everything.